Hello, Mummy Alice.
And who else is there?
Hello, Zara.
Hello, Zariah.
Hi, Xavier. How are you?
Bye.
Good. Are you enjoying your summer holidays?
Yeah.
Yeah? That's good. What's been
Yeah.
your favourite thing?
Going to Centre Park and meeting you and Malachi and everyone. I
Oh,
miss you.
I miss you, my sweet. I miss you too.
Birthday. What was the type of birthday you had? You had a
Actually, my birthday, and Spider-Man came.
Spider-Man came, and also he came with somebody else.
Oh,
And what did they do when you were there? When they were there?
Spider-Man did a cool move.
He did cool moves. Okay. Well, you can show us the moves another time. And what did the Hulk do? He did dancing. And then who else's birthday did we have? Who else's birthday party? How old is Exon now?
1.
Oh, what did she do for her birthday party? Astronaut. Yeah. How she went all around the sun as a astronaut. You already said astronaut. I know. Okay, fantastic. All right, Xavier. All right. Are you going to go downstairs with Papa and go get your breakfast? Yes, please.
I already had my
No, I know. Go and get something else. Off you go. Run down quickly.
Snack time. Bye.
Snack time. Snack time. Good morning. Good morning, all-nighters. Good morning, Alice. Good morning, Zariah. Good morning, Davian. Off you go. Go to Papa. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. All right, okay. Hello, all-nighters. Today, we've got a Special Olympics episode for you, and it is the summer holidays. So we are deep in the summer holidays. We've got some episodes coming up for you on what to do with your little ones while you are on your summer break. We'll do some stories and some features of things that we've been doing and things that they've enjoyed. As Xavier mentioned, the podcast about Centre Parks is on its way. We are editing as we speak, and it will be live very soon. There are 4 episodes, so look out for that. And also, we've done like Nickelodeon World, and we've had birthday parties, and we've done all other fun stuff. So
And the farm as well.
Sorry?
The farm as well. That was really good.
Yeah, that was really good. So look out for those. And then today on Pulling an All-Nighter podcast, we are doing an Olympic special. It is all about the Olympics. So we've got Simone Biles, who is just absolutely incredible. And we are going to just talk about her decorated history and how she is performing at the Olympics in regards to gymnastics, and how she is just a trailblazer and just an inspiration to so many. We are also going to talk about the female boxing at the Olympics and the controversy surrounding that. We will be asking each other what we think our Olympic sport would be. So if we were to select for ourselves an Olympic sport, or what Olympic sport we think we would excel at, what would it be? And then we'll talk briefly about the Paralympic Games, which will follow the Olympics.
I wanted to talk about the most recent controversy. I mean, I feel like the Olympic Games this year has been filled with controversy in different parts throughout, right from the opening ceremony, when they had the whole issue around the Last Supper being paradised, whatever the word is. So it's already started from the off-go. But what I wanted to talk about specifically was around the female boxing, as that's something that's more recent now. And it's in regards to a fight that took place yesterday, the Italian boxer Angela Carini against Algerian boxer Imane Khalif. And so what's happened in that fight is, obviously it's a female boxing match, so everyone will be matched with a competitor. What's happened specifically in this game is that 46 seconds into the game, the Italian boxer has waved and just said she's tapping out, she can't carry on. So they've stopped the game and they have eventually ruled in favour of the Algerian boxer. So she has won. So they have decorated her and crowned her as the winner. Where the controversy lies is the fact that, so she has X and Y chromosomes. So what I mean by that, as a female, females only have XY. Oh, excuse me, females only have XX chromosomes within their body. So that is their female body makeup. The males have XY, which is testosterone. So what's happened here with this female boxer, the Algerian female boxer, is that she has XY chromosomes. So where she's been tested, her chromosome levels, her testosterone levels are higher than an average female would be. So therefore, you could say that she is at an advantage and should not.
She is what she calls herself. So she is a woman.
She has been raised a woman. She is a woman on her passport. She identifies as a female. Because for me, I say that because as a female, I've never had a reason for anyone to test whether I have XX, XY, whatever is in my body. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. So outside of her sport, I don't know whether she has ever, or her family have ever tested for anything. So I'm taking it as, because of the sport she does and the testing that's involved in the sport, that's the reason why she now knows, and well, the world knows now, that she has XY chromosomes. So what happened last year, because you mentioned last year, so there's two separate boxing committees. So last year was the World Championship Boxing, and it was the IOC that governs that. So that's the IOC that has that committee, and they tested her for chromosomes, and she came out with too much testosterone levels, so too much she had XY. Not only her, but another boxer who's from Taiwan called Lin Young Ting. So they both went in for the World Championships last year, both tested, both came out as XY, too much testosterone, both disqualified to compete. Yeah. So that was that boxing committee. So that boxing committee said both females could not enter that competition. They couldn't be part of it and they were disqualified. Enter the Olympics that we're having now, which is being run by the IBA. Yeah. The IBA has a different set of rules, which is why we are now in Controversy City. So with the IBA, they have allowed both women to participate in the boxing because they say that whatever is on the passport is what they are going by. So your passport will stay with you, will always have whatever sex, whatever gender you were born with. That is what will always be on your passport. So even if you, for example, if you later on down the line decide that as a female you wanted to become male, your passport will always be female.
The point is, she's not a man. That's the first thing people need to understand. She's not a man. Like, she's not a transgender. She wasn't born a man and then transitioned to woman. There's no surgery my girl can do to turn into a woman. She is a woman, but she also has XY chromosome. I think the question is, how woman is she? Is she the male side of like woman, or is she the woman side? Because she has a lot of testosterone in her body. I get that, but we're not talking about that she's not a woman. She's a woman, whether it says it on her passport or not. She's a woman.
Absolutely, she's absolutely a woman. And that's what her gender is. Her gender is female. But where we are now in this conversation,
right?
Thank you. Her sex is female. So the controversy lies in the fact that should she be fighting against a female who has XX? considering she has XY. So we all know, every woman, as women, we all have some levels of testosterone in our body because that's just how the chemicals work. However, her levels are higher to the point where she has XY. So I think that is considerably higher than an average female. And also, I think there's something around there's something around safety, and there's fairness as well, and this isn't anything, and it's no fault of the Algerian boxer. It's not her fault. It's also no fault of the Taiwanese boxer. This is completely out of their hands, out of their control. I think for me, it comes down to, why did it take coming to the world stage for you to have that conversation? the IOC and the IBA, which are the boxing committees, they have two different stances on this, and that is not correct. There should be one agreement on what the rules should be, and that should be what everybody goes by. It shouldn't be one company does one thing and another does another, because that's where we are now, where everybody's doing something different. Also, going back to that fight specifically, the Italian boxer, she tapped out after 46 seconds. So the fight started, and 46 seconds in, she was punched approximately 4 to 5 times in that time. The last punch, which was to her face, which she thinks she got a broken nose from, that was when she waved and said she's out, she's not doing it anymore. Since then, she said it's the hardest punches she's ever had. She didn't feel safe, and therefore she felt like she couldn't continue. And once the fight was over, the Algerian boxer was called the winner, and the Italian boxer walked off the ring. She didn't acknowledge the other boxer.
I'm going to interrupt you a little bit.
Go on.
I'm going to interrupt you and say, maybe the Italian boxer wasn't a very good boxer. No disrespect. I'm not. Maybe my girl needs to train more. Hold on. Maybe she needs to train more. Maybe girl needs to duck and dive, bob and weave a little bit, and maybe she needs to improve her skills. If punched in the face in a boxing match, number one, that's what happens. Okay, maybe if she was in a higher weight category or a lower weight category with someone who was in a stronger position, another female, can I say? So sometimes you are always in a different weight category. Babe, maybe if you're in a higher weight category with bigger girls, they would have punched you just as hard. A woman's punch, any woman's punch who is trained, who is strong, doesn't have any testosterone, can be as strong as a man's punch. And I'm not excusing this situation. So everybody who is listening to this needs to understand, I am not defending. All I'm trying to say is, maybe my girl wasn't a very good boxer, and maybe she tapped out because she didn't train properly.
Maybe she wasn't a very good fighter, but we'll never know, and this is why.
No. You know what? I'm going to Google her right now, and I want to check what her knockout record is, because if my girl's been losing left, right, and centre, she's got no excuse.
Okay, you can do that, but it goes back to my argument before, which is boxing committees need to have the same rules, because regardless of whether I'm a rubbish fighter or not, it is still not parity if you put me in a fight with somebody who will already have a natural or a bodily advantage over me. That is not fair. And I say it again, it's not the fault of the two women. It's not the fault of
Can I say one thing? Can I say one thing? If anybody meets you, right, and they would be like, if Alex punched you, you're dead, mate. But no. And they give you, because of your back, because of your training, because of your hereditary features, because of your build and everything, your punch is way stronger than some people that I've met. Listen, I get that she might hold on. I get that she might be at an advantage because there is testosterone in that other woman's body. However, women are so diverse in the way that they are, in terms of their genetics, in terms of what they look like, in terms of, I get it, but I think we need to separate and be like, okay, I get the testing, I understand the fact that there are different categories. I understand everybody needs to be consistent in terms of how they measure the standards, the weight categories, the testing, all of that. I get it. But also, my girl could have been punched by you and she would have been out in the first round. No disrespect.
I agree. And I agree with that point only, which is with me, as with me, with my genetic makeup, yes, I am stronger than some other women, but at the same time, I'm not trying to be a professional boxer in terms of she knows what you'll get. I'd like to think that as a boxer, all the women, and this is for everyone, not just this Italian lady specifically, anyone who wants to do boxing knows how hard boxing is and knows how much of a thump you're going to take. And you're going to get thumped down at some point during boxing. It is what it is. Same with MMA, and when women are doing MMA as well. You take the beating, whether you're getting a beating or not, you take the beating. But I think it's still, I just think in certain industries, you know what you're getting into, because I know that this person is going to kick my ass. But there's no way that me, as strong as I am, would get into a fight with Anthony Joshua, for example. That's never going to happen.
You're not in the same weight category. Hello, Malachi. You're not in the same weight category as Anthony Joshua. And also, hold on. And also, we've met men who would be in the same weight category as you. They still couldn't beat you up, Alice. For real.
Yeah. No, that's not true. Because there are some men who probably are in the same weight category. Yes. She beat me up. Hello?
What I'm also saying is there are plenty of men who would be in your weight category who couldn't beat you up.
Yeah.
If you're a professional boxer, there are.
I agree.
And they have
but it's still not the like with like. So
it's not like for like. I agree. And I think, so this is the point that I fully agree with you on. Like for like. I think if there are women who are women, classed as women, sex and gender, they are women, but they have XY chromosome and they have more testosterone, that is a category in itself. I think you need to compare apples with apples, pears with pears.
Agree.
Make sure the weight category is correct. Make sure the chromosomes are correct. Make sure all of that is correct. But I'm looking at my girl's record. Here we go. We're looking at Angela Carini's record. Okay, she has a total of 108 fights. She's won 84 of them. And to be honest, she is she's won 84 of them. She's won 4 knockouts, but she's lost 23 times. Okay, babe, you've lost 23 times. I'm just saying, you are capable of losing.
Okay, you are capable of losing, but you're not being fair on the stats, because the stats her wins completely outweigh her losses. You just said 84, so that is a complete.
What's the other lady called? Let me find her stats as well.
Imane Khalif.
Okay, carry on. Yeah.
So like I said, her what you're reading out, her stats are still they're still brilliant stats. 84 out of 100 and something. That's absolutely fantastic.
Oh, and by the way, the other lady, Imane Khalif, her record is she's had 51 fights, 42 wins. So by the way, she's won more. Just putting it out there, and she's had 6 wins by knockout.
No, but you can't
fight women. But she's fighting women.
She's fighting XX. But also, sorry, but their fight, the Italian boxer, she has more fights under her belt. So she's a professional. Because what you said before around she's felt punches before. She's been knocked out before. She's lost before. So when you've been in the game for a really long time, sometimes you have to respect someone's experience. And if her experience is, in all my 100 and something fights I've ever had in my life, I've never been punched this hard.
Maybe you've never had that good an opponent.
Margaret, it's not this. Okay, we're going to agree to disagree on this, because ultimately, my take is that all the boxing committees.
On a serious note, Alice, you're right. On a serious note,
women's sports. It's always women's sports. There would never be this much controversy around men's sports because they would have it. They would thrash it out and come to an agreement in some way, shape, or form before it gets to the world stage. But it's women's sports that I don't like that they do this in. So I just really feel like they need to come to an agreement. And once again, no fault to Khalifa, no fault to Ling Young either, because they've just been put in a position. They want to fight, they want to box, and I respect it so much. However, they shouldn't also be put in a position where they can fight 1 minute and they can't fight the next minute.
Agreed.
Needs to be some type of agreement around actually this is what we're doing or this isn't what we're doing. And also for women, the women who are fighting against them, there should be an understanding of, oh, do you want to do this? Do you know what you're getting yourself in for? And I don't mean that in terms of people should pick and choose who they fight against, because that takes it away from the game. But and I think once again, it comes down to the boxing committees agreeing this is the standard rule and this is what we are all going to do across all the boxing systems. So everyone has to do the same thing. So the Taiwanese boxer, she's meant to be fighting today. Lin Yang Ting. So she's meant to be fighting today. It's going to be interesting to see whether that fight goes ahead or whether it's something similar, whether the person decides they don't want to continue the fight anymore. All eyes are going to be on the female boxing, but not for the right reason. It's going to be to see what happens once again. Sorry.
I get it. I think the one thing we all need to, I agree with you. In regards to eligibility rules, they need to go and review those. Somebody needs to go and sit down and review all the eligibility rules and understand what they are and what the implications are. Number two, I think you talked about women's sports and women in general and women's spaces. I think it's really important that women get to keep their femininity or whatever they want, whatever we want to call it. But I also think we always need to remember, and I think there needs to be some work done on this. She is a woman. She's born a woman. She's not born a man and then transitioned to a woman. That is not the case. She is born a woman, but also happens to have XY. She is a anomaly. She is unique. She is a blessing. She is a whatever you want to call it. Nature has decided that's what she is going to be. And I think we as a world now need to be able to not shame and destroy her, because this is not good for her confidence, not like tear her down, not like all the other things of she's a freak of nature. In fact, she is something to be celebrated. And hopefully if there are other women who are like her, they can come forward and actually compete in the sport as well. I think there needs to be a lot more thinking, a lot more work around this, but not to vilify her, because this is, as you said, this is not to do with them. This is to do with people. Organizations need to think better about how they match people and how it works. And it's a shame that this is the controversy that we all have to listen to in women's boxing, when actually women's boxing, women's football, women's all of this is actually really blowing up at the moment. And they're doing really well.
Agree. Completely agree. So it's, like I said, there's the other fight later today. All eyes are going to be on it, but not for the reasons why everyone wants it to be there. Khalifa, she's obviously was crowned the winner for that boxing match, so she will obviously go on to fight against somebody else whenever the next rounds are. And then once again, the focus is going to be on it for the wrong reasons. But
do you think they should change the rules before the next fight? Before her next fight?
In terms of, how do you mean?
Her eligibility.
See, I feel like there's something around the safety of everybody. And I don't want a woman to fight her and their safety is put at risk. I don't want her to fight a woman and she is then vilified. fight someone else, and she is then vilified, and it's turned into she's really beating her up, and it looks so bad, and look what she's done.
The other person who she fights better tap out then and know when she's ready to tap out. In my opinion. Hold on, let's think about the fairness to her. She has applied, and she's trained, she's applied, she's got through in a fair way. She has got through, and now she's being told, after all your hard work, blah blah blah, you're not allowed to fight and compete. That's not her fault.
But it's not her fault. I'm not saying it's her fault. It's not her fault. But what I'm saying is that before this, firstly, this should have all been sorted beforehand. But also, I don't want, like I said before, I don't want this to turn into, because now all eyes are on it for no good reason. No good is going to come out of this anymore, as far as I'm concerned. This entire women's boxing tournament has been tainted because everyone is going to be focused on it for the wrong reasons, and she is going to be vilified. Whether she wins or she loses, she will be vilified through every step of the way. Her and the other lady who I'd mentioned as well. So I just don't think it's actually fair for anybody. For me, I'd prefer they scrapped the entire women's boxing now. I'm at the point where I feel like everyone's focusing it for the wrong reasons. But it's going to carry on. I think it's going to carry on. I don't have a say on whether it should continue or not, but I do think there will be a lot of eyes on it, and not for good reason. Yeah.
All right, we will be coming back to you with more Olympic information and more Olympic joy, actually, with Simone Biles and her victory. We are back with more Olympic conversation and Olympic news for you. We are talking about Simone Biles, who won her 6th Olympic gold medal in Paris a few days ago. She is a gymnast. She's 27 years old. And she has been all over the world. She is the most decorated American athlete or gymnast. And I just wanted to recognize how amazing she is. So she was competing and she won gold against another Brazilian gymnast. And her other teammates, I think, came 4th and 3rd as well. So the American team are doing really, really well in gymnastics. I mean, they've always done that. But I think the reason I wanted to talk about her today is because she talks very much about her mental health. So a few years ago, she actually pulled out of the Tokyo Olympics. She was at the height of her career. So in 2020, the height of her career, she was like, right, in the middle of the Olympics, I am pulling out for my own mental health and my own sanity. It did come out later that, she talks openly about, sexual abuse with trainers and various trainers, or a specific trainer. And she also talks about just how much pressure there is on gymnasts in the world of Olympics and just in sport. And I guess the point of me talking about her today is just to recognize how, as much as you may be on top of the world, sometimes you just need to take that break, reflect, and come back stronger. So 2020, she went away. 2024, smashed it. Did you watch it? Oh, I watched it with Xavier. Did you watch it at all, or have you seen anything?
I've been watching it here and there, but I think she's absolutely incredible. For such a young sports person, she's just an all-rounder in terms of just having such a fantastic strength, resilience, mentally as well. And her mental health, her physical health is just something to be so proud of. And she's such a fantastic role model. Obviously, Malachi does gymnastics as well. And he's got a particular interest in watching the guys and stuff like that. But it's so nice to watch her because she's a black girl as well, and she's representing so many black women in that sport, and in a sport that I guess she's dominated for the longest time. I feel like she's been the sport for ages. But it wasn't a sport that black women had kind of dominated in before she kind of put her stamp on it. And she won the gold all rounder. I mean,
Yes,
she
she
won
did.
twice.
She has.
Amazing. So she and another woman in 1960 something are the only two people to ever have that. How amazing is that? So yeah, she's fantastic. And like I said, Malachi does gymnastics. And it's just nice to watch that you can point at someone and just say, this person is amazing at what they do. And yeah, just someone to look up to. I mean, we go to gymnastics and I was talking to one of the other mums and she was saying how her daughter's been watching specifically Simone Biles. So it's so nice, like, that we can chat about it and just give her flowers right now, because she's here, she can take them, and everyone's behind her. I feel like Snoop Dogg has been the biggest, like, has been repping her, been turning up with t-shirts and everything. Like, wow.
So, I mean, she the star-studded celebrities that showed up. I mean, Tom Cruise showed up to see her.
Hey.
Yeah. You had Snoop Dogg. You mention it. Everybody was there to see her perform. I mean, the Americans came out in absolute full force. You're right there, love.
Sorry. Sorry, Soraya. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm trying to plug in my charger. Sorry. That was very...
That is hilarious.
Sorry. And do you know what? At one point, I feel like I was starting to suffocate her. That's why she started screaming.
Oh.
It's a mess. It's a mess right now. Oh, a mess. Sorry.
It's so hot. You know when you're just like, it's so hot, and my hair and the charger, but we're loving the hair.
Thanks, man.
So
Yeah.
the celebrities that came out to see her included Lady Gaga, Ariana Grande, Tom Cruise, Anna Wintour, Snoop Dogg, Jessica Chastain, Greta Gerwin, John Legend, Shaun White, and so many more came to see her. And she was like, my people, my crowd, and she did not disappoint. It was absolutely amazing. And this is her 39th medal in terms of her career. And she's been going for a long time. And like you said, she has been consistent. I mean, like we said, in 2020, she needed to take a step back. And I guess my question to you is, do you think it was the right thing to do in terms of stepping back?
Absolutely. 100%.
And impact on her career, but I mean, impact on her career.
Yeah, I think it takes a whole different level of strength to be able to say, I need to take this time out, regardless of where my career is at. And like you said, she was at the peak of her career and everything else. And she made that decision. And I respect it so much because it's so important to recognize when you're about to burn out and when you've just got nothing left in you. And other people, no one will know it more than yourself, because people can say, oh, you can cap, but you were so great, you were doing so good, oh, that was fine, and people can encourage you and try and talk you out of it. But when you know yourself, you know when it's time. And I think there's something really strong about just knowing yourself and having that that conversation with yourself and just saying, actually, I need to take this time out. So fully respect her for doing it. And like you said, she came back harder. She came back stronger. And it just goes to show that if she feels like that again, I'd like to think that she would take the time again. And it's an example to so many other athletes as well in any sport, that it is important to look after yourself, because your physical peak can be one thing, but your mental peak is a different battle. So yeah,
absolutely. It's all. I think we always talk about mind over matter. They are two different things. Your body, your mind, and they need to work together always. So well done, Simone. Congratulations. She also has a Netflix documentary coming out called Simone Biles Rising. And it just talks about her journey, where she's been, where she's come from, her personal life, mental health journey, and training ahead of the Olympic Games. So everybody, if you've got some time, go and watch that on Netflix. Enjoy. Speaking of Olympics and gymnastics and stuff, I think you would have been good at gymnastics, but what would have been your, like, Olympic sport if you had to choose one? And I need to like research what Olympic sports there are, by the way. But do you know what what would you choose?
So if there was a sport that I can naturally do now, and that I just have to do extra training, I think my sport would be 100 meters. I'd be a runner. I'd be in the 100 meters athletics. That's always been my sport. It's my strength. I know I'm good at it. I know I'm fast. With a bit more training, that would be my thing. That would be my easy fit sport.
And you've run in the past. Firstly, we need to mention how Alice won the mum's race at Sports Day for the kids. So if there's any evidence that she can do it, that's part one. And also, you ran in school a lot as well. Like you were a natural athlete at school.
Yeah, so I did a lot of running at school. Did 100 meters relay, 100 meters and things like that. That was always my strength. I found that really my go-to sport, easy for me. However, if I had to choose an Olympic sport that I would love to master, and I didn't even know this was a sport, it would be the modern pentathlon. Do you know what the modern... Okay, I'm going to test you.
Hold on. Firstly, what's the old pentathlon?
All right, so good question.
Traditional pentathlon.
No. So there is I can't even speak. So there's the triathlon, yeah. Oh. So the triathlon has three. So what triathlon
would be running, swimming, and cycling, right?
Good. Okay, so that's triathlon, yeah. That's the standard. That's the bog standard.
Everyone, you couldn't do that one because you can't swim.
I couldn't, exactly. So I'm already cut out of that one. Like I said, this is if I could do any sport, yeah. I still wouldn't pick the triathlon, but if I could do any sport, right? So the modern pentathlon. Have a guess at what sports win it. Five.
So what?
Do.
Putting on your clothes really quick.
You wish.
In a nappy. Getting ready for work with the kids jumping all over you. No? Cooking dinner while being asked for a snack.
I would pay to see this. They're the games I would have paid to see. But no.
Everybody out the door for a party in time.
Oh my God.
Buying the presents before
the party, carrying your kid's scooter and tracking them, or carrying them at the same time. Goodness sake.
Okay. Modern day pentathlon. Running. Okay, running. That will be one.
Yeah, let's run in.
Okay, running. Cycling. Come on.
No.
Swimming.
No.
Judo, fighting, boxing, some sort of fighting.
There is, some sort of fighting.
Okay, no, you've got to tell me. I'll never guess it. Some sort of fighting.
Fencing.
Okay, some sort of ball sports. So tennis or something.
No. Basically, it is fencing.
You'd be great at that.
Equestrian. So riding a horse. Margaret, this is the most craziest games ever. So there's a laser run. In the laser run, you have to run and then you have to stop and shoot at a target. Margaret,
hold on. Speaking of shooting, we all know about the viral, the Turkish athlete who is in the shooting round. Man's is purely like
explain what it is.
Sorry?
Explain what it is for people who don't know.
Oh, so basically it's like Olympic shooting, and the guy's gone viral because he's from Turkey and he is like the candidate, and it's just basically man shows up in a regular t-shirt, hand in his pocket and a gun. That's it. And then when you look at all the other candidates, like the other people shooting, they've literally got like laser circles, sunglasses, they've literally got like tripods attached to their face.
Literally.
Game of Thrones style, all kind of stuff, like Hunger Games equipment. Man's just in a t-shirt. He's just like, bring it. And he won silver.
I rate it though. I rate it because I just think he just thought, I don't need all these fancy gadgets. And just aim it with my eye and shoot. That's how scared of me you people should be. Don't mess with me.
Anyway, sorry. Sorry, I'm eyeballing it, literally. Sorry, laser shooting. Go on, sorry, you were saying.
So there's laser shooting, there's running, there's swimming, there is equestrian, and there is fencing. Fine. Okay. So that would be the sport I would want to master.
I think weightlifting for you.
Oh, do you know what? Weightlifting? Okay. Yeah.
For you would excel in weightlifting.
Yeah, no, it's true actually. That would be a natural fit. But if I'm going for my dream, it would be the modern pentathlon. I would literally just be a great at everything. Like, how would that be? What would be yours?
So I would love, like, I'd like a few, but volleyball I think I'd be quite good at, but I'm way out of practice. I feel like that would be a natural fit. Fencing, if only I'd grown up in a different household in a different time, I think I'd be amazing at fencing, even though I feel like you would be better at fencing because of your long arms. I just feel like your arms would be
fencing, no, because I feel like you're in for the long game, so you would eventually get the shot. You'd be on target. Whereas I need a few shots to get there. Whereas I feel like you'd be more actually on target.
Okay, and then I think also a natural fit would be triathlon. I can swim, I can run, I can cycle. And I feel like with all of those things, I'm not really amazing at all of them, but I feel like I'd be good enough to be able to just be good enough to get through. So I feel like the triathlon for me, like I can swim. I'm not the best swimmer, but I can swim. I can run. I'm not the best runner. As I said, if you see me running, I'm being chased. I'm not the best runner, but I can run. And I can cycle. I'm not the most amazing cyclist, but I can cycle. And I feel like if you combine all of it,
if you honed your skills and you train hard, then your sport. That would be your sport.
Definitely. Thank you. Yeah. So people out there, if you were to choose what your Olympic sport would be, what would it be? Write us, let us know in the comments. Thank you for listening to this Olympic episode of Pulling an All-Nighter. And I think people need to keep their eye out for the Paralympics. When do they happen?
Yay! All right. So no one has done the Paralympics as well as the UK did it when we held the Olympics. I feel like the UK's Paralympics has been one of the best that's ever did it. But I'd like to think that Paris will really try and really put a shine on the Paralympics. What I find really frustrating is that there's all this song and dance around the Olympics, and then when it comes to the Paralympics, it's like the second sister that kind of enters and everyone's kind of going home. So I really hope, and everyone listening, please watch the Paralympics. It's amazing, the strength, and we were talking about like mental strength as well. The mental strength and the physical strength that goes into it is beyond incredible. So the Paralympics starts on Wednesday the 28th of August and runs through until the 8th of September. So it runs straight after the Olympics. So please watch the Paralympics as well. I can't wait to watch the Paralympics. I love Paralympics basketball because it is just like
every man for themselves.
Every man for themselves. No bars held back. It's like you're in it or get out of the way. So I love their basketball. And also the running as well. When the people who have loss of sight, and the running, because you have to have someone attached to you and they're also running with you. So it's just that coordination that has to go into it. Incredible. So yeah, Paralympics, end of August, 28th of August, watch that as well.
Thank you, all-nighters. We hope you are having a good all-night. You are enjoying us if you're driving, if you're walking, if you're running, if you're doing some training for your preparation for the Olympics at some point.
4 years again, Olympics rolls around in 4 years. Any of us could make it. I'm beyond the age now, but
You're not beyond that age. Remember, if you're in a natural fit, you can make it. You got it. You got it.
you know, so anyone who, anyway, 4 years. You got 4 years to train for the Olympics, people. What are you doing?
Exactly. All right. Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye, Malika. Bye, Sarah.
Bye.
Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye.